Hello, and welcome to episode 45 of the Mindful Knitter podcast. My name is Claire, and I am your host. If you are new, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. This is a podcast or a vlogcast primarily about yarny things. We talk about knitting and crochet. I have both for you guys today. A lot of socks, but I've also got a crocheted sweater to share with you guys today, a knit top, and some other yarn related things. We also talk about yarn dyeing and yarn spinning on this channel. So if you are new, I'm so happy to have you here. Again, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It is such a joy to be able to share with you my yarn obsession regularly. You're the only ones who understand me. So if you want to connect on social media, just that little plug, all of the social media stuff is in the description down below the video, as well as any information about any yarn or designers or patterns or anything else that I talk about today. All that information is in the description down below the video. But if you want to connect on social media, I am on Instagram as the.mindfulknitter, and I'm on Ravelry as Mindful Knitter Pod. And if you want to send me an email, you can send one to clairethemindfulknitter@gmail.com. I think that is all of the kind of intro stuff. I'm coming to you guys from the southeast of the United States, and it is super hot right now. It's been in the 90s Fahrenheit basically every day for weeks. This is wool. I'm real warm. I'm doing this in the afternoon. I meant to do it in the morning, but this morning was just kind of slow, and then I needed a shower, and then I needed my hair to dry so that I wasn't doing a podcast episode with wet hair, so then I had to wait for my hair to dry because I don't blow dry my hair or anything. I just let it go. So yeah, now it's the afternoon. It's real hot because this is a western facing window, but that's okay as we're powering through. I guess I'll just go ahead and start sharing my finished objects with you guys. If you're new, our format is kind of the classic yarny vlogcast kind of style. I share finished objects with you guys, and then works in progress, and then any upcoming projects that I'm planning to start. And then if I have any chatty things or yarn related stories or adventures, I share that with you guys as well. Anything that's not yarn related, I try to keep to the very end in case you're not interested, so you can easily skip that part. But I'll go ahead and I'll start sharing my first finished object with you guys today, which is this knitted top. Oh my gosh, it feels so much nicer if I like fan myself with it. It is warm. And I'm in the basement, so you'd think it would be cooler, but this is, again, a western facing window, and it is so hot. Okay, I'm gonna look up some information for you guys. I have notes today, so I'm not gonna miss out on any information. So this is the Double Take Tee by Espace Tricot. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, and this is the second Double Take Tee that I have made. The first one I made last summer, and if you guys have seen it, I've worn it quite a lot, so you might have seen it on Instagram or on this channel. But I did like a soft pink with speckles on one side, and on the other side it was a cream base with rainbow speckles. This is called the Double Take Tee because it is double-sided. You knit the same, you knit it flat, and so you knit the same panel or like side twice, and then you seam it together. So if you don't love that, this is stockinette. So if you don't love lots of purling, if you don't like seaming, you might not love this pattern, but I don't mind purling and I don't super mind seaming. So I don't love seaming, but it's worth it for this, I think, because this is a size medium. I'm gonna scooch up in my chair. I need a better setup for showing you guys my stuff, but I just don't have it. It's double-sided, so it's reversible. This, for the size medium, or the size 3, I can't remember if the size medium is, I think it's the size, no, you know, it might be the size 2 in the pattern is the medium. The way that I do it is I do the size 2 or the size medium for the body of the top. And then for the sleeves, because you're doing it from the bottom up, for the sleeves, I do the size 3 or the size large because I like a wider sleeve. And then I just switch back to the counts for like the medium or the size 2 or whichever for like all of the neckline finishing stuff. But yeah, so for the size medium, it is exactly 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. It's just 1 skein of fingering weight yarn for the front, 1 skein for the back, but it is reversible. So, because they're knit exactly the same. So I can wear it with this side as the front and I get a totally different look, which is super fun. So that's why it's called the double take tee. You basically get 2 t-shirts for the price of 1, which is, I think, very clever and a great way to use those random skeins of fingering weight yarn that are in your stash. Yeah, both of these I really, really liked. And I love that this skein in particular gets to be a garment and a very wearable garment. I will say it takes 1 skein of fingering weight for each side. I do a cropped version and I did have yarn left over. I might have had 5 to 10 grams of yarn left over, like per side. So like 10 to 20 grams total left over. So you can make it a little bit longer, but I make it cropped because I am short-waisted and also high-waisted. Like my waist is really high. My torso is not very long. So I tend to make most of my things kind of cropped. Also for like my body shape, I just like cropped items, which is really convenient because I think cropped is kind of in right now. So I'm like weirdly on trend. It never happens to me. Other things to tell you guys, it has a 3 needle bind off for the top part, which I think looks very neat, very tidy. The finishing on this is just really nice. I am shedding. I'm like a dog in the summer, like I'm shedding right now because my body is like rejecting anything that makes me warmer. Other things to mention though, the yarn that I used, this is Knitted Wit. It's one of their national park yarns. This colorway was not a national park though. I did knit the size 2, so this is, I wrote it down in my notes. This is the size 2 that I knit for this, except for the sleeves. I did the size 3 sleeves so I could have a little more room in the sleeves. So this is Knitted Wit fingering weight yarn in the César. It's really hard for me to pronounce these things in English. César y Chávez National Monument. It's César y Chávez National Monument, but it's so hard for me to do it in an English accent. But I think in English you would say César y Chávez National Monument. I think, yes, but César y Chávez National Monument in the Spanish. So that's this one. And then the other one, which is just this lovely gray with these little like rainbow speckles. You can kind of see. That is Urban Girl Yarns, fingering weight. And I looked at the ball band on it and it didn't have the name on it. It was like smudged because I'd had that skein for a little while, so it got smudged at some point. So I don't actually know this colorway name, but you can get on Urban Girl Yarns website or on her Instagram and look at all. I don't know if it's her or their. I'm not sure which pronouns are correct, but all of the colorways and things are on there, so you can find it. And they're both merino wool yarns, so they're awesome. Very breathable. This is knit on, I think, like a US 6 needle, so it knits up quicker than expected. I don't knit very many fingering weight garments just because I am a little impatient. I really like to finish my projects and have them and wear them. I do love the process. I'm definitely a process maker, but I love having the finished item so that I can be wearing it and using it and enjoying it. So I tend to not knit fingering weight garments, but this knits up pretty quick because it is on a US 6 needle. And for me, it feels very similar to like knitting a pair of socks. So it's, because it's a lot of just, you know, back and forth. There's not much counting until you get to the increases for the sleeves. And then once you've increased, you kind of go back to just knitting back and forth for a while. So it's very chill knitting, and it kind of, I don't mind doing this because it feels kind of like I'm knitting a pair of socks. Honestly, doesn't use that much more yarn than 2 pairs of socks would. And it's on a size US 6 needle, so it goes a lot quicker than a pair of socks that I knit with a US 1 needle. So I don't know if that's something that you feel is like kind of daunting, because I do think some people are kind of similar to me in that they avoid fingering weight garments just because they don't want it to take a million years. This doesn't take a million years. It's not going to knit up as quick as like a DK weight top would, but it does not take a million years. So, and I think that it's extremely wearable. This is my second one. Like I said, I'm very likely going to make another one because it's just a really great way to use up those random single skeins of fingering weight yarn that you don't want to make socks out of. And you don't necessarily want to put them in a bigger shawl or, you know, whatever. So I feel like I've probably ranted about this one enough, but I'm a real big fan. And I've worn it a few times now, and I'm usually wearing it with this side in the front because this was the yarn I was really excited about. I do like this yarn a lot, but this one made me really happy. So it has a little details on it. It has a 2x2 rib on the neckline and on the hem. Just really well made pattern. I'll stop talking about it now because I've talked about it enough. So let's talk about some socks. I still can't find my sock blockers anywhere. I have sock blockers. It'd be so much nicer to show you the socks that I knit if I had them, but I don't know where they are. So I'll find them and I'll use them to show you guys socks eventually, but I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way for now. So these are socks that I knit for my friend Cindy. Her birthday was this past week, and so I knit her these socks for hiking. She had requested that I knit her hiking socks, I think in October. Yeah, in October. She and I went to New Mexico to visit several national parks. I don't think, did I ever upload a video of that for you guys? I don't know if I did. But we went to a lot of national parks in New Mexico, and I was knitting socks the whole time we were there, and she was like, would you ever knit me socks for hiking? And I was like, yes, I will. So this is Patons Kroy, the Woodsie colorway. And if you've knit with Patons Kroy, or you may have heard other podcasters or just knitters in general talk about knitting socks with Patons Kroy, it says it's a fingering weight, but I think that they're lying. I don't know if they're lying on purpose. I doubt they're lying on purpose, but I don't think they're telling the truth. This does not knit up like fingering weight yarn at all, in no universe. I have knit DK, like I've used a DK weight sock pattern with Patons Kroy, and it worked fine. But what I do tend to do now is I tend to knit them up like I would knit up a pair of sport weight socks. But I'll use a US 1.5 for my sport weight socks. For this, I do like a US 2. It still makes a good fabric. Like you can see, this is not like stretching out a whole bunch, or it's not flimsy. Like that's still a good fabric. So I like to use a US 2 with Patons Kroy, and basically what I do is, since I knit DK weight socks with a US 3 and I knit fingering weight socks with a US 1, I just knit these with a US 2, and I use the stitch count that's exactly in between. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Okay, I hope they go away. I've hiccuped like 4 times now, but I tried to do it sneakily so you wouldn't notice. Yeah, so I use a US 2 and I use a stitch count that's like right in the middle between a DK and a fingering. So I would cast on 56 stitches for a pair of socks for me using fingering weight yarn. So I basically subtract 2 stitches per DPN from that, which would give me 12 stitches on each DPN, and there are 4 DPNs, so that would be 48 stitches. So I cast on 48 stitches on a US 2. I did knit these with DPNs, and then I just kind of like, I do 12 repeats of my heel flap as well to kind of like compensate for that. So all my measurements is very proportional. I just kind of like, yeah, I just kind of subtract. Does this make sense the way I'm describing this? If you knit socks, I think that this will make sense to you. Basically, I just do exactly what is in the middle of a DK weight pattern and a fingering weight pattern. And it seems to work. My friend Cindy has very, very small feet. So if these look like they're for children, they are for an adult, but she wears like a size 5.5 shoe, like a 5 or a 5.5 US women's shoe. So she has teeny tiny feet and little ankles. So it's basically a size small minus a couple, because I also decreased a little bit here for her ankle because she has little ankles. Yeah, she tried them on and she says they fit like a glove and she's so excited about them. She has not worn them yet though. She was very kind in letting me show them to you guys first. So hooray for birthday socks. I don't think there's anything else to mention about those. Nope, that's it. So that's those pair of socks, or that is that pair of socks. I have two more pairs of socks to share with you guys. And then I do have a 4th pair of socks upstairs. I didn't bring them with me because they're currently blocking. I washed them this morning and then I laid them out to block them, and then I didn't bring them downstairs with me because I kind of forgot. So I do have 4 finished pairs of socks, but I only have 3 to show you. I'll try to show you guys the other pair next time. But I knit these socks when I was very sad. It was a few months ago, and I think I shared with you guys like when I was I'd been sad for a little bit actually. So and thank you so much to all of you who sent me such kind messages and encouragement. You're all very, very sweet, and I really appreciated that a lot. It did mean quite a lot to me. I am not sad anymore. This has been a very weird summer, and yeah, it's just been a weird summer. A lot's been going on. Life just has ups and downs, so, you know, the summer is of course going to have ups and downs because, you know, life just has that. But I am happier now. I am much more my usual kind of self. So for anybody who is sending me well wishes or just being really kind, thank you. And I feel much better now. These socks also helped. I think I had told you guys in the last podcast episode that I was thinking about casting on some socks for comfort knitting, and I did end up casting these on, and they really did help, because why wouldn't they? Look how pretty they are. How happy are these colors? I really love them. This is also sport weight. I shared this with you guys. I think I shared this yarn with you guys on the last podcast episode. Let's see. It's Hinkston Homemade on their sport sock base. And the colorway is I Scream for Ice Cream. And I love them. They're so happy. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. I love that they are speckled stripes. I don't think there's anything that could be better. And I did get them to match almost exactly, which I am so pleased about because I never do color management on my socks. But with these, I was like, I'll try. And yeah, almost exactly the same. I knit all of my socks top down. or cuff to toe, and I knit them all on DPNs. Trying to think if there's anything else to mention with these. I think I knit these on a US 5 needle, and so I think I cast on not 56 stitches, but 52 stitches, probably. So, and they're still a little on the roomy-ish side, so I probably could have cast on fewer stitches, but that's okay. Probably not going to wear these with shoes. They'll probably just be house socks. I did a heel flap and gusset. I always do heel flap and gusset for my heels. That is my favorite. That is my favorite method. I actually do enjoy German short rows. I do it a lot with like sweaters and things that I knit. But for socks, the heel flap and gusset fits me a whole lot better. I can make my heel flap taller, which I typically do, because I have like a high, I guess it's like a high instep. So like I can't show, I mean, I could show you my foot, but I'm not going to contort myself like that. So, but basically like that tallest part like of your foot before it starts going down towards your toes. I think that that's your instep. I could be wrong. Mine's kind of high. So I need a little bit more space in this part of my foot. I could have just shown you on the sock since it's foot shaped. That probably would have worked a lot better, but here we are now. So I need this part to be a little taller. So for that, I just always add a couple repeats in my heel flap. These are really happy socks. I also did what's this called? I thought of it a second ago and now I can't remember. What is this stitch called? Something about a bird and an eye. There are probably people like screaming at the screen right now, like with what this is called, because you know what it's called. Some of you know what this is called. It's escaping me right now though. I do love that though. I love that texture, and I do it for my socks, I do that same slip stitch on the ball of the foot because I tend to wear out holes in the ball of my foot. I think it's because I walk on my toes a lot. I've done that since I was a kid. I walk on the balls of my feet and I walk like toe heel instead of heel toe. I don't know if that's because I started ballet when I was 2. And I did ballet for like 13, 14 years. And I started it when I was 2 years old. So I don't know if that's part of it or could be the neurodivergence. Who knows? But I wear out the heels in the balls of my socks. So I always do this. Is it Eye of Partridge? Is it like an Eye of Partridge heel? Is that what that is called? I'm going to try to look it up and put it in the description down below for you guys so that you don't have to guess because I can't remember. But anyway, these are my socks of happiness and I love them. And they're going on my feet right after this podcast episode. Last pair of socks to show you guys. These I knit for Alex and they are covered in dog hair. So is everything else in my life. So why would this be any different? These are some scrappy socks that I knit for him. I knit these while I was traveling. Boy feet are big. Wow. I always forget. Look at the difference between man socks and Cindy socks. This is so ridiculous. She would love this. I'm going to show this to her later. She has teeny tiny hands and every good grief. She's so small. She's the cutest. So these are Alex's new socks. I knit them while I was in California and in New Zealand. They're scrappy. So this was one of the Knit Picks static yarns. I don't think that they make them anymore. And I actually have another skein to show you guys in a minute, but it's a great color changing fingering weight yarn for knitting socks. And I wish that they did still make it, but I really don't think that they do. So these were the leftovers I had from something and I used them in the leg of these socks. And then I used a different Knit Picks, one of their like hand painted, like very variegated skeins for this part and the heel. And then I used just like a hand dyed kind of solid tonal yarn that I had that was scraps More of that variegated from Knit Picks, and then this is a Hawthorn fingering from Knit Picks. And yeah, so basically I just got coordinated colors out of my scrap bin and knit up some socks that I really love. I really like how these came together. I think they're really pretty. If I was a dude, I would totally wear these, but I'm not a dude, so they won't fit my feet. I could have knit them in my size and I would have worn them, but I didn't. I made them for man feet. So those are going on Alex. And then again, I have another pair of socks upstairs, but I did not bring them with me. But they're really pretty, so I'll try to show them to you guys next time. Now we have the crocheted finished object. This is my last finished object to share with you guys today. I'm very chatty. It might be because I haven't talked to anyone all day. I've been alone all day, and now it's like 5 p.m. and I haven't been around anyone or talked to anybody all day. So it's probably why I'm a little chattier than usual. I'm excited to have someone to talk to. Yes, so last finished object, this is a crocheted sweater. Here she is. I thought about wearing this for the episode today and I decided against it, and I think that that was wise because this is warm and this room is warm. So I made a good choice, but you can see it is kind of cropped, which is my preference. Kind of boxy, which is also my preference. I like a nice boxy fit. I don't like to feel like my clothes are trapping me. I liked freedom. So I love this so much. It was really fun to make. I didn't love seaming it. It is knit in pieces and you do have to seam it. So I did not love that. I think I have found that I don't love seaming crocheted garments. Knitted garments bother me less, and I don't know why. It might be because the edges, like the stitches on the edges of knit panels, just lay differently than the stitches on the sides of like crocheted panels, because the stitches are very different, and so I think seaming them together is a very different process, and I just don't enjoy it so much with the crocheted garments. But I might actually make another one of these just because I like the finished object so much, and the fit is great. I will tell you what this is. This is the Ocean Breeze sweater by For the Frills, which is such a cute designer name, and it's Frills, Frills. Again, this will be in the description down below the video, so you don't have to panic and remember how to spell anything. But it's the Ocean Breeze sweater. It is a free pattern on the For the Frills website, or you can purchase the PDF on Ravelry. I did the size 3. It is written for, I think, either a DK or a worsted weight. I want to say DK weight though. So I took several different skeins of fingering weight yarn out of my stash and I held it double, and I did a little pseudo fade. It's not a real fade, but it's honestly in the back it fades pretty nicely. I did a lot more fading on the back than on the front, but I like how the front turned out. I think both sides are nice. So I used, how many different skeins of yarn did I use for this bad boy? And it is heavy. It's not as heavy as other crocheted sweaters that I've made, but it's still pretty heavy because crochet does take up quite a bit more yarn, so it's a bulkier fabric, so the garments tend to be heavier. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used 5 skeins of yarn for the size 3 in this pattern, and I ran out of stuff, so I did use this like cream colored for the little like neckline portion. Yeah, and you can see it's not a perfect fade. My sleeves are slightly different. Like this color is in the rest of the sweater, but it's at the very, very bottom of it, whereas my sleeves have a whole lot of like those few colors. So yeah, not a perfect fade. My color management on this could have been better, but I still think that it's very wearable. I think it's a nice piece, and this is going to be really great for spring. This is going to be great for when I'm at the beach because it's warmer, but it's also very breathable and airy. So I think when I'm on the beach in the spring and in particular, but also in the evenings, this will be a great piece. But yeah, like on the lake, yeah, it's just so good, I think. So I'm excited for this one. I am not wearing it right now, but maybe in the fall it'll get some use. We'll see. So I'm excited about this guy. Again, this is the Ocean Breeze. Yeah, Ocean Breeze sweater. She has a whole collection of like there's the Sea Breeze, I think the Sea Breeze tank, the Ocean Breeze sweater, and then there's another Breeze top. I can't remember, it's not ocean or sea, but it's something else related to that. So it's a whole collection that uses this stitch pattern, but with different weights of yarn, and she's got a tank top, a t-shirt top, and then the sweater. So clever little collection. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. So my work in progress. I'm very close to finishing this. I started this a while ago and then completely abandoned it. So you guys, I don't know if you have seen any of this. I showed you the yarn. So the podcast episode where I'm talking about the Disney knitting that I was going to do in preparation for going to Disneyland, did not finish that for Disneyland. I have it in my hands right now. It's still not finished, but it's been so much fun to knit. And I ended up knitting other things for Disneyland, and it's probably for the best that I didn't plan on wearing this while I was there, because the day started out very cold, and then it got very hot, and then it got very cold again. So the layers that I wore to Disneyland ended up working perfectly, whereas this would have been just not as, it just wouldn't have been comfortable, like at all really, and then it wouldn't have packed down very well for me to take it off, put it in my backpack, like any of that kind of thing. So it ended up working out great, and it's been a very colorful, happy project for me to work on during the summer, which is fun because I kind of love working with very colorful yarns in the summertime. I think just because everything feels like a tropical fish, and when it's the summer, I don't know, tropical fish are appealing to me, I guess. So this is all my Disney yarns. Oh my gosh, this is bright and colorful. This on my body is gonna be something else. I'm not actually sure how often I am going to end up wearing this, but it's been fun to make. And if I don't end up wearing it a whole lot, then I'm sure I will find somebody else that will enjoy wearing it. But if you saw that podcast episode, it's the one where I'm holding up the box of all of the Disney yarn, and I look real excited about it. This is the May pattern by Andrea Mowry. It is a tunic. I'm knitting the size 2. Yeah, and the pattern is written for Aran weight yarn, but I'm using a worsted weight yarn because I don't have Aran weight yarn. And it's knit on US 11 needles, so it goes fairly quick, which is fun. The yarn that I'm using is the Sewrella Classic Worsted from her Disneyland collection, and I'm using 4 different skeins of that. I only really needed the 4 skeins because I'm knitting the size 2. So originally I thought I would be knitting the size 3, but it has a lot of positive ease, so I mean, I did not need to knit the size 3. The size 2 will be fine. This is going to be plenty roomy enough, and it's a tunic length. She did write short rows in this pattern, so the back is longer than the front, so that you can wear it very comfortably with leggings and your butt's still covered up, for those who care about that. I do tend to, if I'm wearing leggings, well, it just kind of depends. Sometimes I wear a cropped shirt with leggings, other times I want something that's longer. It depends on where I am wearing my leggings and who I'm going to be around. So I do like that this pattern has that feature where the back is longer than the front. I think that that's nice. Most of the samples that I saw knit up are all in one color, but I'm doing obviously multicolors. I think that this one was Fantasyland, or maybe, no, this is Mary Blair, I think. This is maybe Main Street. Maybe I have those reversed. This is Fantasyland. This is, I think, Tomorrowland or People Mover. Yeah, and those are the colorway names. But it was a limited edition collection because it's Sewrella, so she does these collections and has them open for like a couple days and she closes them for forever. So you can't get this yarn unless you just happen to find it somewhere. But I go into detail about the yarn in the previous podcast episode. And I am almost done. So I have the front little like decrease neckline portion done. And I'm just going to repeat these two panels on the back and then seam them together. It's probably a 3 needle bind off to get them together. And then I'll pick up stitches, I think, around the armhole and do a rib. This was a 2x2 rib for the bottom hem, so I'm assuming it's a 2x2 rib for the cuff as well. Yeah, so that's what this guy is looking like. Very colorful. We'll see how much this gets worn. I think the pattern's really good though, so I might end up knitting this again in a more neutral color. We'll see, because this pattern's good. Yeah, so that has been fun. I've really enjoyed working with these colors. The yarn is soft and beautiful, so it's been a pleasure to knit. And that's really what I'm working on right now. I don't think I have really any other active works in progress because this had been lingering for several months. And then I picked it up while traveling, I think, yeah, in New Zealand. I knit this in New Zealand primarily, and it was I basically finished it while I was there. Because this was great airplane knitting. And then, yeah, once I finished Alex's socks, I just picked this up and it became my new sock to knit while traveling. Yeah, I don't really have any other lingering whips really, other than Alex's sweater. That's a whole, I should probably dedicate like a whole like episode to that, or yeah, like a whole video to that. Maybe that'll motivate me to finish it. And I think I have a couple like miscellaneous small things, like a cat basket that I'm crocheting. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I have a lot of like lingering whips, just like kind of around the house, which is nice. So nothing else to show there. Let's do upcoming projects. I am slightly scattered today, I think. But that's not surprising. I'm usually scattered, so you guys are used to it. I am going to be casting on a new pair of socks. I might cast these on today. We'll see. I kind of want to finish the May this weekend. I'm helping a friend move tomorrow, so I'm going to be busy moving furniture and driving hours and hours back and forth. So I may not get any knitting time tomorrow, but if I can't finish that today, then maybe I'll finish it tomorrow or Monday. But I do want to cast on another pair of socks. So this pair of socks I think would be for me. This is, again, Knit Picks. It's the static fingering weight sock yarn that I don't think that they make anymore. But someone correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to leave a comment if they do make this, but I don't think they do. This is the Seascape colorway, and it, yeah, looks like a seascape. Very ocean-y. And this is going to make pretty socks for me. I've had this in my stash for a couple years, and it is time for it to become socks. And then I don't know what garment I want to do next. Kind of on the fence about some things. So I have some yarn already balled up and ready to go to crochet a tank top, which I might do. It's like a cropped tank top, and it's gray with neutral speckles, and it's beautiful yarn, and I think it'd be really pretty, and I probably would wear it, so I should probably just go ahead and make this. And it's a crocheted tank top, so it'll take like no time to make. And I think it's, yeah, fingering weight, so I don't even have to hold this yarn double, so it'll be very wearable for the summer. It should be very comfortable, so it's not going to be too heavy or warm. So I might start that this week. Another option is I might make something with this guy. I really like this guy. This is Noro, and this is one of the Kakigori, like big skeins. It's basically like 2 skeins of yarn. It's 200 grams. And the blend is cotton, silk. It's 50% cotton, 30% silk, and then it also has viscose and polyamide. So it's a really good blend for summer and spring. And I do think that it would make a really, like a nice top. I could probably crochet a tank top out of this, because I think I would only really need 200 grams for a tank top. And it's 600 meters. Yeah, so this might turn into a garment. We're gonna see. I'm gonna bring it upstairs and sit with it for a while and see if I get him inspired. But the other thing that I'm considering doing is a shawl, specifically a very colorful shawl. I've been on Instagram a little bit lately, and I've been feeling very inspired by people. You know, another great thing though would be, like, what if I did a summertime top with these? I got these last summer. It's called Mermaid Hair is the colorway. This is Mandy's Makings. Yeah, and the colorway is Mermaid Hair, which, like, how freaking cute is that? And I love this. I love this so much. So I don't know. This might become a top because I would wear this all the time. I had thought about making this into a double take tee and just having, you know, both sides be the same, but I don't know. So this is something I'm considering doing. Maybe making a shirt out of those two for summertime. But back to what I was saying, because I got distracted. I keep seeing these beautiful multicolored shawls on Instagram, and it's making me want to do a beautiful multicolored shawl, but I don't know which one. I think I would love to do, like, with these, like, mini skeins. How fun would that be? And, like, obviously pair it with something else, because this is only 100 grams of yarn, but that would be amazing. I love these colors so much. I don't know what, there need to be something special. But I have a lot of other good, like, bright neon type thing. Like, I love this guy. I just don't know. But I love the idea of doing, maybe not stranded color work, but like a multicolored shawl, and not multicolored like a variegated yarn or like a highly speckled yarn, but like with multiple different yarns in it. So I don't know. I have a lot of really great choices. I kind of want to do something like really colorful, like neon. And I've got like this neon coral in my stash that I could knit a t-shirt out of. It's the La Bien-Aimée Flora Morganite colorway. So if you're familiar with that, it's like bright. I wonder if can I do this? Can you see it? Okay, so it's this one. That guy right there. So bright and colorful. I kind of want to make a shirt with that. I would be so obnoxious, but I would love it so much. I just don't know. So this is my struggle right now. I really want to knit something bright and colorful. I also don't know. Part of me is like, will I wear it? But then part of me is also like, I just want to make the things, whether I wear them or not at this point in my life. And I'm okay gifting stuff to other people if I end up not really wearing it much myself, because other people will love it and enjoy it. So I just kind of want to work with the fun yarn. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But I want to cast on something new. Maybe I'll just start the crocheted tank top because it's a very safe bet. I've already got the yarn ready to go. I've already got the crochet hook in a bag with the yarn, so like it's ready to go. It's one of the projects I took with me to New Zealand because I thought that I would be doing more crafting while I was there, but I did not. I don't know. It's probably a safe bet because that's something I would probably also wear for the next month or two. So I'd get some use out of it also. I don't know. Do you guys have any suggestions? And what are you making right now? So if you want to leave a comment down below, what are you working on this summer? Are you participating in the Stephen West stuff that's going on right now? He's got his yarn along going on with the 3 shawl patterns, and then you get like your yarn in a box every month. So he's got that going on this summer. Are any of you doing that? It always looks so fun, but I haven't done that particular, what would you call it? I mean, yarn along, like make along. I haven't done that make along before. And then he's got his mystery knit along coming up at the end of this month for the mystery sock. So his mystery sock knit along, I think that this year it's the Color Popportunity socks. And I'm considering doing that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. There are lots of other mystery knit alongs going on for the summer, so. But what are you guys making? Are you doing shawls or socks? Are you staying away from yarn because it's too hot? What are you guys making right now? I am curious. And are there any life updates? I feel like I should write notes about like my life updates in addition to notes about yarn. Like I said, I have had so many things going on this summer. I've had, yeah, some fairly big significant things happen in life. I think I don't know. I went to New Zealand. I made a video. You guys already know about New Zealand. And then I've just been working this summer, chilling, playing pickleball. That's fun. So I've gotten into pickleball. I have joined that craze, and it's a craze for a reason. It's really fun. It is much less injurious than tennis. So if you've ever had an interest in playing tennis, but you don't want to injure yourself, pickleball is a better option. The ball is lighter, the court is smaller. You're using like wooden paddles, or like the original paddles were wood, but they do have different materials now. And so like you're hitting this lightweight ball with this paddle versus a tennis ball with a racket. So like you're much less likely to get injured by the ball because it just can't be hit with as much, it can't take on as much force. So you don't have to run around quite so much, so you're less likely to get injured that way. Apparently I'm real excited about the fact that it is a safer sport than tennis. That was what kept me away from tennis though. I loved the idea of, I like to hit things over other things. So I like played volleyball in school. I love badminton. I love racquetball. I like, like water polo, like, I don't know. I love hitting things over other things. So volleyball is my favorite. I love volleyball. So I loved the idea of playing tennis for years, but I'm also very injury prone. Part of that might be the autoimmune stuff, but I'm real injury prone. So when pickleball became a thing, like it's been around for like years and years, but it became popular in the last few years. I was very intrigued, and I finally convinced my friends to play with me so that I could try it out, and now we're all hooked. And yeah, I'm a pickleball enthusiast officially. So if you haven't tried it, maybe try it out. So I've been doing that. I've been going hiking a lot. I go like 3 to 4 times a week, usually in the morning before it gets real warm. And then I had a 4th of July party where I had lots of friends over, and that was awesome. If you saw my post on Instagram, then you saw my little crocheted headband. I thought it was really cute. I was very excited to have a use for a crocheted headband in the summertime, because it was with a bright red yarn. It was so cute. Yeah. I think that's probably it for the updates on life right now. Everything else is probably a lot of just like personal like stuff. So, but my life is good right now. So, work is a little slow right now, so I'm getting a little bored, and also feeling like I'm not contributing enough to the universe, and I need to be more productive and more useful as a person. So I keep trying to like find things to do that are useful. Trying to considering maybe looking at volunteer opportunities, because I really just want to, I feel like I'm not contributing enough to the well-being of the world right now. Alex just keeps telling me, like, just rest. You just graduated from your doctoral program in May. Maybe just take a couple months to just relax, but I'm not very good at that. I'm good at relaxing, but not for long periods of time. It's not for me. So I'm trying to find things to do to stay busy. Yeah, I think that's probably it. I am officially rambling, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't have anything else relevant to say. Thank you for hanging out with me, though. I had a great time hanging out with you, and I'm probably gonna get some food, because that might be part of the reason that I'm rambling, is I'm probably hungry. And I hope you guys are having a great summer and are having a happy time crafting. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.